What up guys? So as you know, recently we had our own track day event, which should be our annual Night Strike event and the whole weekend of car and automotive action. But because of the COVID, the Corona, we had to of course cancel that, but still managed to go on the track with our cars. And by this, we grabbed the opportunity and also test the HKS Supercharged GT86.
Warning, decontamination.
Then, of course, because it's his car, already tested the car on the regular roads, of course, following the normatives of laws.
For sure.
For sure. So, what were the first thoughts when you drove the car on the road?
It first was very funny because we didn't drive it for what, 6-7 months, and when I started to go to the road, basically I cannot compare it with the normal situation. So basically our first test was on the road, but we didn't, let's say, test it properly because first you cannot do it on the street.
Well, you can do it.
You can do it, but we're saying go to the track for sure. But secondly, yeah, our plan was to be safe, to see if everything works, if there's some leakage, and so on, to see how the engine reacts with this.
It's a problem when you get stuck on the street when there is something wrong. While on the racetrack you can take your time.
It's easily, let's say it's easily to go home.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, at first I can feel immediately that it's a lot more of torque, so it's much easier to drive, especially in low RPMs. So everyday usage is quite better, really. So the main test was on the track. Yeah, we can easily see the potential of this.
Yes, you know, everybody knows that this is already a fun car, you know, but
yeah, honestly,
this model,
200 horsepower is enough.
Yeah.
Because the car is very light. For sure, 200 to 50 kilos less than like 12 GTI and
it's less than any other car from this range. Of course, when we're speaking about newer cars.
Yeah, it's very fun. The car is fun. It rides really good. The 200 PS, it's enough for everyday usage. But the problem is because this car is so well balanced. The chassis is so stiff. It's the problem. Why is the problem? Because when you go to the track, you can feel it that everything is working too good.
Yeah, it can go faster through the turn.
For sure. Yeah. You can feel that it needs a little bit of power. Not so much power as torque. So because it's NA engine, so yeah, it's okay. You have to rev it, but it's still.
I forgot what's the stock torque.
I think it's 170 something like that.
I think you have now 170 at the low RPMs.
Yeah. So
not at the peak.
So you have to rev it, and you can feel it from through the corners that you should have a little more horsepower.
Yeah, for sure.
40-50 horsepower is really enough. So yeah. But now we're running around 280.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 282 if I'm.
We can rewind back to the dyno. Final output of 281.4 horsepower at peak, which is around 7,000 RPM.
So okay, somebody will say it's just 80 horsepower with supercharger. The issue is because the compression is very high in this engine.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, people are always talking about the numbers. The numbers, guys, they don't matter. It's the feeling in the car when you drive it on the track or anywhere that matters. So I would say, forget the number, get into the car, drive it, and this will give you the right experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Not So, when you went on the track, I know it's been a year when you were on the racetrack with the car, so it's really hard to compare that, but still, first thoughts.
Okay,
first laps.
Yeah, you can much easily throw it out of the corner. You can feel the power. It gains you. It's much easier to drive. You can be really faster. So you can really use the car how you should use it, because there is no stress to the chassis. The suspension is working nice, and there is no problem also with additional torque. So no issue with, I don't know, that you're drifting when you don't want to drift.
The thing was. When I went on the track with this car, first few laps, I was like, okay, but then I figured out I should go a gear lower, because Raceland is a really small track, and basically you do it in second gear. Maybe on the main straight you go to third, but then you go back to second, and you do basically the whole track in the second gear. But for me, the first laps I was in third gear, and I was like, shit, I should go into the second gear.
Yeah, for sure.
And once going in the second gear, you know, the car was really feeling good, like. Now, with this supercharger kit, it's like finding that missing puzzle to complete it, and it's really much fun.
The car works really much better.
Yeah, when Dan was, hey, yeah, I want to do a HKS Supercharged, like, man, you don't need that, you know. It's already a fun car, you know. 200, it's more than enough. Okay, let's face it, when you're on the highway, of course, it's always good to have a bit more power.
I think it was the biggest issue because I had the least power on the street unit, so...
Okay, but
this was the issue.
Yeah,
joke aside.
When we did all these road trips, you know, to Belgrade, to Split, and wherever.
But the mileage was the best.
The mileage was the best. I'm not sure what's the mileage at the moment.
Not so good.
Not so good? That makes difference.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, you can add 2 to 3 liters.
Okay, so if you're spending money on the supercharger kit, be prepared to spend money on the fuel as well. Of course, that makes sense.
But no, you can still easily run 10, 11 liters per 100 kilometers, so it's still okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Still okay.
Like if you look at it, having 280 horsepower and the supercharger kit, man, you cannot expect to run 8 liters per 100 k's. But yeah, what I wanted to say is, it was already a fun car as a stock car. I think we also did the good thing with the suspension alignment at that time when you upgraded to the things.
Yeah.
But now with the supercharger, man, it brings a smile to you.
Especially. And yeah, the other option was to make a swap, but you know how it goes. It's difficult to find the right engine. It's not difficult.
Let's say find the right engine
it costs too much money.
It costs a bit too much money, and
the other way was to put 2 J's inside, but you know it takes too much money, especially when you have to go standalone.
Yeah, for sure.
And
stand alone and make everything work, and then the gearbox and everything. And
in the end, it's still the car for every day.
Well, you can say every day, not every day, but it's every day, because the car is useful, so you can go anywhere you want with it without worrying of any kind of issues, problems, and so on. That's also why when we were mapping the car with the supercharger, as mentioned in that video, we managed to get to 300 horsepower, but then decided to tone it down a bit just to make it safe and make sure that the car will work with no issues.
It should be reliable, so for everyday usage, and I think for now I can say really money well spent.
Okay. So
just don't tell it to my wife.
yeah, don't say it out loud. Money well spent, but not much money. So yeah, till next time on the racetrack, since the winter season is here. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. Comment down below what you think about the HKS Supercharged GT86. And guys,
see ya.